Hello. Let's do commemoras. Look at that Rembrandt lighting. Yeah. Yeah. That the little like there. It's Rembrandt lighting. Rembrandt lighting. Blah. Okay. Commemoras. All right. So where are we at? We have. Oh, right. I was like, well, the cameras are running, so the code must be running. It's okay. What are we doing? So we just went through and added a bunch. What are you? Added a bunch of just log statements and stuff like that. What are you doing here? It's not. It's a weird place for you to be. Oh, weird. I guess it could. Yeah, I mean that. Sure. I mean, life cycle wise, this would have got imported. It would have seen this function. It would have grabbed the logger, and then the next time it came in, it would know how to run it with the logger. But also, that's verboten. Mamnua. It's just not how it's done. Okay, what did I just do? I just pushed go. Yeah, so how come the logo is no longer showing up? No one has ever known. No one will ever know. Yeah. Okay. Oh, that's nice. I like that. All right, how are we doing? So here we are. We've gotten through the main business. We pushed go, debugger started, we ran dunder main. Ooh, can we do this? Nope. Zoom. And then, yeah. Oh, that's actually another also value to that. It's 4K. You'll be okay. Okay, so running from main. Starting main loop, starting backend process, waiting for backend to start, takes a little second. Started unicorn at here. We pause somewhere. Secure connection failed. Oh, we're not. So we're not HTTPS. We're just regular. Because I don't know how to do that. Which is actually interestingly. Yeah. Okay. See. I'm just gonna go fix this log, because the log, I wrote that with like my dumb human fingers, which like this is like part of the argument of like why comments are bad, is because comments have the possibility of being wrong, because this is the actual place. I use dark reader because, like, look at my, where is it, this side? No, that's not right. Watch this. It's like, photons are photons, man. I don't need that. I don't need that in my life. Let's see. Go fix that. Like my logs, look at them. I think they're beautiful. I think... Look at the colors. Got the trace. One day. There was one day and I was just like, it's like when you're having trouble with your code, just make your logging better. Like if you can't make progress anywhere else, just add more logs. Just put them everywhere and make them more informative and clean them up. And then maybe someday, like just go on like a couple weeks long hyperfixation terror of figuring out how to change the coloring and add all these things and add like delta T between the last log. I like that one a lot. That was my favorite. And And just to be clear, I didn't write any of this shit. Me and the bot did this because this is like the deep stuff with like, look at this. Check this out. Gee. No. I broke it up recently into like a bunch of different files. So I'm trying to, the color stuff. And this actually wasn't that hard, but where's the log levels? Custom formatter. Like the way that it makes the different levels, different colors was bonkers to me. This. Like, because I was like, hey, hey machine, can you, was that SkellyBot at that point? It might have been some early, what point did I start using, that might have still been like raw OpenAI. But I was like, how do I change the colors in the terminal? I was like, oh, here you go. Here's the list. I was like, what the shit is this? Oh my goodness. Okay. And then, yeah, these are all the guys. Oh, I get the delta T in a wacky way too. Where do we get that? That was also a bonkers thing. You have to like yeah, and then I make this like custom colored console delta time filter, which I guess I've moved over here. Delta. I guess it's not that crazy. I mean, nothing's crazy once you see it. Like, yeah, logging.filter though. What the shit even is that? Like, I guess now I can figure it out, but I never, ever in my life would have been able to figure this out on my own. Never, ever. Like, well, I mean, that's probably not true, but like I never would have devoted that much energy towards figuring it out. But I would absolutely be like, hey, machine, do, please. Huh? Can? And it's like, absolutely. Are you crazy? I was sitting here waiting for you to ask. Unbelievable. Anyways, fool. Killers. Where were we? Who are you? This. Great. Okay, yeah, fix that. Run backend. Close everybody. Get, all y'all. I mean, but click, shift, punch them, hit it, bow. Yeah. Now, be gone from me with your false comments. See, on host name, running with host name, hostmail, name, on port. See, this can't be wrong because I'm not like, this is just saying, well, it could be wrong if I didn't understand these words, which but I'm not like, it's one of these things that's like, because when it was like, when did I write that? I wrote that yesterday. This is get blame, which I'm getting through PyCharm by way of some stupid premium thing. I use PyCharm and I like it and I recommend it, but it's so begrudging because it's like freemium. Yeah. I get it, but also I have the right to dislike you if you're charging me to do stuff, because it is by definition an antagonistic relationship at that point. So you're trying to get things from me, which means I'm trying to get things from you. We have defined an antagonistic relationship. It is not symbiotic. It is what's the word? I guess it could be symbiotic, but that sort of depends on the balance. Anyways, there is some coercion there, because obviously I would prefer not to give it to you, and you're implying you would prefer not to give it to me. So, yeah. Oh, yeah. In PyCharm, it's Git Toolbox. In VS Code, I think it's Git Lens. It is Git Lens. fix. Wait, Control Shift Z. Whee! Cool. Yeah. This could also be wrong. And like, I had to like look up what host name was. I just saw it somewhere. And like, this is one of those places where like I could have been wrong here. Like I could call this IP. That's incorrect. And so that's a case where like, is this code wrong? Like, well, logically, no. Logically, like syntactically, it's fine. But like conceptually, it's wrong because it's mislabeled. What am I even talking about? It's hard to say. Well, I guess it's easy to say. It's hard to interpret. Okay, so that'll be fixed next time. We don't need to do anything now. Okay, so we're just following the logs. Running there. We fixed that. And then it starts again on 43. Did that need to... Why does it say that twice? Preferred port was blocked. We're raising an exception when that happens. Eventually we should make that not an exception. Wait, didn't we come up with a reason for it not to be an exception yesterday or the other day? Yester video. On other people's computers, we definitely want to be able to do that. Because if you're like running something else, I think is the thing. Oh, and that's why I was like thinking maybe I should change it from 8,000 to something more, something less common. But the problem with something less common is I won't remember it. So I'll have to remember it. And if I might remember it, but other people won't. And it's easier, harder. I'm gonna leave it. Be grumpy. Die if you don't get exactly your way. Okay. Logs. Logs. Me. Log early, log often. Starting with... This is going to be a bit... I mean, we're getting redundant here, but like, what's the cost, you know? Like, ooh. Are we spinning our wheels right now? Logger. Well, like a little bit, but that's the thing about logging. It's like, yeah, you know, I am spinning my wheels, but there's progress capture. Like, this is a good thing to be doing no matter what. So it's like low engagement, but like incremental progress. Like, you know, logger dot info. That's a debug. While try to see, yeah, bot code for sure. Bot code. I don't know what the fuck that means. AF-INET sock stream? No. Just to be clear. Okay, try accept raise E. Okay, how are we doing this? Okay, so while true. So but I don't know what this is, but I know how to interpret it and I know how to tell whether or not it works correctly, because the output of this bad boy, see, also adding type hints is also always good. I should really make the bot just go through. This is like, I want the bot to go through and, you know, just basically like rglob, recursively iterate through the tree and just like always add type hints, add like return hints, add doc strings, add a unit test, and give me like a static code analysis. Like, does this follow best practices? Is it easy to understand? Does it, blah, blah, blah? Does it follow PEP 8? And just get like a report. Just like cron job that shit. Do it every day. Why not? Like, a lot of that I could run on a local model. For sure I could run on a local model. Well, no, yeah, I could. Like the dedicated Cody ones. Especially if I do like a mixture of experts. But that's not Kamamura's. That's a whole different guy. Here we are. We got this part. I already know this part works, but I'm just going to make it more explicit. With, so that's a context manager. So with socket.socket.socket.defnet as S, try, if it works, return it. Well, listen, I don't think I want to do that. Do I need to unbind it or something? No, because it's with, so it'll exit. Unbind when it exits. That's probably fine. Maybe I'll hit it with a finally. Logs, baby. There's too many logs. There are too many logs. Logger. But I added these. I added trace. That's one of the things I did is log level. You're an enum, baby. Get over here. So the way logs work is the default ones in Python, at least, are debug, which has a value, numeric value of 10. Is below info, which has a value of 20, which is below warning, which has a value of 30, and then error, then critical. And so when you set so when you set a given logger to have like a certain level, what you're saying is when you receive log messages, check to see whether they are above or below this numerical value. If they're above it, then they're important enough to be logged. If they're below it, then I am telling you I don't really want to know about that. So these two I set because like they were annoying, like tz local and matplotlib. They were just very verbose. That's what I'm doing. So I set them to warning so that they would shut the fuck up in the messages. But then I also, in my own stuff, I added trace, which is below debug. So like that's just like stuff that you really wouldn't want to see every time. Like when trace is like I'm gonna send trace files like every time I ask for new frames and stuff like that. Like you really don't want to be doing that a lot of the time. In fact, I might 30 times per second, logging 30 times per second. It doesn't have measurable time though, I've checked. Sending a message is less than, that's milliseconds. It's less than 1 microsecond. Like, I'll be okay. And also I did success because like we should celebrate our successes. And success is above info, info's default. But it's below warning. So it's like, so if I say I don't even want to hear the info, at least you're going to see the successes. This is what I believe. And they're pink. They stand out. In this particular case, I am going to call this trace. Okay. Still keeping trace. It's kind of debug. In my mind, trace is like repetitive, like it's in a loop. That's not necessarily true, but it's like, I think it's kind of true. And now see, look, this is for sure bot code because it printed something. We're gonna print the E. Do we need that E? What's it gonna say? It's just gonna say it's not available. Whatever. Bottle. But yeah. It's like there's all this stuff like, oh, people just add a bunch of AI code to their code, and then it's like blah blah blah. It's like, yeah, you know. Raise exception. Not more. No ports available. Which, like, that's like, that's never, that seems unlikely. I guess the argument against this heavy logging is that it adds lines to the code. It adds visual complexity, so it's harder to scan. And those are valid. Like, line length should be minimized. General principle. What am I even doing right now? Where am I? Who are you? I keep getting confused because the camera lights are on. It's like that this is not running. I'll turn one of them off when we get to that point. We talked about this. My back is sore. Upper. I need to procure a better chair. This is my favorite way for the camera exposure to screw up. Like, it's the morning, as you can tell, but perhaps from context. And it's just like, it's like bright light for this direction. I haven't turned on the light in the room yet. Yeah, just the Rembrandt lighting. So Rembrandt lighting means that it's specifically this one, where the light is very, very direct from one side, and it leaves this, like, where is it? This, like, triangle of light, which I guess is an paint author. Focusing. What are we doing? We're pushing the button. The red is not. It's just like a weird, like, PyCharm for some reason. But the red is not errors, even though usually red does mean error. Okay. Starting the main loop, starting the backend process, starting the host name, found port 8000, great. Waiting for the backend to start. Creating the app, registering the routes, creating the user. I mean, that's whatever. Got all these nice routes. Async IO. I don't know what that means. But it's async IOs. Like we capture other modules' stuff, so sometimes. I'm actually not sure how that works. Backend server is running with host name. Wait, did I do this? Am I redundant? Run backend. Okay, so we got run backend here. Oh, I think I knew that, and I think it's just like the language is not good. And again, we're realistically, this is like overlogging maybe. Starting with this, I think maybe just I don't need to log that redundantly, I think, because it's already here. Can you, yeah, it's whatever. Anyway, main loop, starting backend server process. Oh, that's the process. I don't think I should say server in that case. Running, yeah. We don't need to say that. Like at this level of specificity. So the main route in, the main entry point, which when you have code, when you're sharing code, when you're talking about code, you often want to think about it, like at least it's often, you want to think about it in terms of the entry points. Like usually most code, you don't want to just like jump in and start running stuff. So what's the entry point? Traditionally in Python land, dunder main. But always if you see main, you're generally supposed to run something called main. And then there's this main loop here, which I actually put a little warning here. So like, actually don't run this one. This one is meant to be run from dunder main. And I put it on the top level. It's like this is a stylistic choice. That's like not standard, but I can do it because this is my house. Starting SkellyCam main loop. Let's start from the top. Let us begin from the beginning. So we configure logging first, top level. So everything, this is where all the colors and stuff are set up. So now anybody else in this context, which everybody else is in this context because this is the entry point, when they import logging and get a logger, they're going to get this colorful specialized one. So that's why in other places I don't have to do configure logging. I just say logging get logger, and it's the one that has been configured is the one that I get. Honestly, I'm like saying that like it's obvious, but it took me a long time to figure any of this out. None of the things I'm saying here have I known for more than like maybe 2 years. I didn't know how to write Python code before the pandemic started. Before that, was all MATLAB. I was my bachelor's degree is in philosophy. Believe me, all of this techie stuff is like learned in my well, mostly in my 30s, to be honest. Okay. Like I started, I guess 24 was when I got into grad school. But anyways, so running main. This is like weird. I don't know what this is. It's just like you just have to do it to make it work. This is for multiprocessing, and this is to allow you to change the logo, although the logo is not drawing, which I don't understand. Did I do something to the paths? We'll get there. We're doing a walkthrough, and I have a meeting at 11, but I have until then. We're 30 minutes in, but I actually don't mind this. This is very on task. I think the ones I posted yesterday were like, it's fine for the... This is a journal. This is a work journal, video work journal. And that's what I should probably call it. Like, yeah. I've also decided I'm going to have like no shame about just renaming stuff from the past. I'm just going to rename stuff. Don't worry about it. Like if you see something like, yeah. It's just like, you can't think of too many people at once. It's hard enough to just, okay, main loop. Create so yeah, because it's going to be a try except, so I had to like pre-allocate them a bit so that, you can have them at the finally for the cleanup, ready event, reboot event, shutdown event, create sub-processes, which returns the back-end and front-end process, go down here, take the multiprocessing events, starting back-end process. This is the run back-end stuff that we've been to. You know what? They start in order. Let's just go ahead and if you're ever looking at a new code base, and you want to know what the deal is, what you do is you find the entry point. You put it in an IDE that has debugging in it, that you know how to use. And if you don't know how to use it, figure it out. Actually, just watch me do it. You go to the main entry point, you go to the top of it, you put a breakpoint right at the top, and then you run with debugging, and you just step along through. Ooh. This happened last time. I was like, why did that take so long? Actually, okay. And then you step over with F8, that's down here, and you step into with F7. So step 8 is just like, do whatever it is, and then let me know when you're done from this context, this file, this function, this wherever. Step into is like, let me know what's happening when you step into that. So I'm going to step into that. That's weird. That shouldn't happen. I just want to make sure that there's not something weird happening. Because this could just be debugger stuff, like getting set up. But like the fact that it takes noticeable time to step over is like, are you hitting some code that you're running that I don't know about? So it wasn't stepping into right. Maybe it just like treats import statements wrong. I don't know. So F8, F8, F8. And this is continue, resume program. So this will like run until you hit the next breakpoint. F9, boink. Boink. We're now in run backend, which also took a second, noticeable time. Mostly I just want to see, so that didn't take any time. I do think it's because of the debugger, but I'm just double checking. F9, 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 F8, F8, F8. Maybe it just takes that long. Maybe I'm just like... Oh. Never mind, I have no idea. I do think there might be some stuff. F9, 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 F9. I wouldn't be shocked if there's not something in this like fast API land. Fast API land that's like doing work in the import. F8, F8, F8. That wasn't me. F8, F8, F8. Import SkellyCam. Okay. I think I print the version, which is what's going on there. Nothing happening in there, right? That was, yeah, just words. We've learned. Don't do work in your init if you can avoid it, because you hit it every time you import something. Also, every time you make a new sub process that uses that thing, you also hit the init file. So put your init stuff in your main entry point, generally speaking. Where am I? Oh. I didn't notice if it ran. Okay, I'm getting tired of this part. This is the last one, right? Getting pretty, yeah, I think so. Yeah, I don't think I want to be doing that, do I? You're gonna take no time. God, so much shit here. Jesus fuck. We're doing this static. We don't need to go through. Close all tabs. Oh, that was a mistake. Who is that? That was the controller. I think it does touch a lot of things, and that just might just be how much time it takes. But we should just double check because it's been a lot of this code hasn't been touched in a while. So yeah. Oh, we can also do this. Right click. Optimize imports. That's going to be a lot, I'll bet. It just goes through and like removes stuff you're not using and stuff like that. I think it cleans up the ordering. Generally pretty trustworthy. But you do need to like log it and say specifically used optimize or ran optimize imports. It's the kind of thing like honestly I should probably have it set to like do it on save or on commit or something like that, but like it's just sometimes it takes a while and I don't always want to wait. Oh, this is my draw.io. What is this weird number? Some strange hash. I guess it's an ID. It's XML. It's cool that draw.io is XML. I appreciate that about them. Like a .draw.io file is an XML file. I do have mixed feelings about like because you don't. It's like it's so not obvious that that's the case. Okay, what are we doing? What are we doing? I think we're just sort of looking. We're looking for. We're looking for. Oh, that's cool. You're looking for parts of our code that's accidentally like doing work. This is it's not the worst thing to do. There's so much though is the problem, and I'm kind of sick of it already. Okay, I decided I don't care. I think it just takes. It's like that's not a. It's. I think we know the answer to the question of why it's taking a second to hop over that part of the import statement, and it's. Oh, I don't have any breakpoints anymore, and it's because it's touching the whole guts of the code. Which, you know, that could be a lesson. Is there a way to make it not like that? I don't think so, because this is the starting point. It has to have access to these things. Okay. F8, 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 main loop, F7. Oh wait, print. Oh, we do want to print that actually, because it's kind of like it just prints outside of the log stuff. It's you know. Backend process. Yeah, this is us. This is us. This is our stop. Create sub-processes. Was I already here? Run back. We're in. Yeah, okay. And now we're going to go into that. Okay. F8, F8, F8. Find the port. You got it. Good job. If fail, if blocked. All right, I looked at that yesterday. It doesn't fail if blocked. Right, I did some little fiddling around. I was like, oh, it doesn't need to return the whatever. I'll just prescribe it. But then I changed it back, I think, just because it like something broke and I didn't want to look into it, so it's fine. So, but you should be fine here. Okay, then you create the process, which is run Uvicorn server, which is a little baby little guy that just pops open little Uvicorn server. Starting Uvicorn server. Yeah. Have I already printed the... I only want to print the host name once. And I think I want to print it no. I think this is probably right, because if it fails here, like the host name or port being wrong is like that's a reasonable, like that could fail. I could imagine that being the reason why it failed. So that's what I want to know. I think the main reason I was looking at these things as being duplicated logs is because when I was looking at the logs, I was like, wait, where does it actually start? But I think I just need to pay attention to this, like starting versus started is important. Okay, so app, fast API app. Right, this is all this is important stuff. Then you run it with the app at the place, and then this wasn't working for some reason. It is nice because it will just like, you don't have to like restart it. You can just change the code and it runs it. But it didn't work, so I turned it off. And plus, it's like I just like to kill everything dead before I restart anyway. Just how I probably prefer to live my life. Sure, let's go in here. Okay, so where are we? So we go to this little debugger settings. Okay, I do need to fix this. This is okay. God, I always forget though. Debugger. What do we call it? Debug. I have to do this all the time. Drop in the debugger on failed tests. YQT compatible. Thank you. This was a thing for a while where it wasn't. Oh God, I hate this part. What am I looking for? Did I bing? Was that a system sound? Show execution point. Show execution point, and then I say Control-Alt-Shift. Then I search for show execution point. Then I want to be able to change it. It's in the debugging actions. I want to like, how do I do this? This is the key map. It's Alt F12, which is nice, but that's like I don't remember that. Data views. There's a place that lets me reorder that because I hate that it's below. What did we call it? It was the debugger data views console. Show external console. Build execution deployment debugger console. Show execution point. Okay, debugger action. Main actions runs. So I'm looking for debugger actions, but I need to like, where's the stepping data views debugger? There's the place. There's the place. Always do smart step into. Do not step into library. See here, you can tell it to step into the other people's code. Python debugger. No, because it's not. It's in the. It's like it's under the appearance. It's under the UI. Whoa. Participation assistant. File colors, non-project files. There's system settings, menus and toolbars. Oh, is it? I think. Oh, it's stupid. It was this. Yeah, there it is. There it is. I need to pull this. Okay, so. This is, what is that one? Oh, this is the more pop-up. This is the regular guy. And I want the more pop-up. Force step into, oh, that's interesting. You can smart step into, run to cursor. These actually are all nice, but I'm not gonna stress it out right now. It's like, put it after step out. Yeah, click and drag, doink. Is it after step out? Apply, see, look, there it is, doink, haha. It just takes you to wherever the debugger stops. It's useful when you're like bouncing around. Okay, so, and if I click, so if I step over this, it's actually, so right now nothing is running. It's just we've created the process. It's going to be named process 1. Oh, I wish, there's a way to name these processes. I should do that. I've done it before. When did I do that? I think I did it with JohnBot. There was a named process thing. And then Endurance added a named process thing. Ooh, I know the answer to this. Check this out. To-do! Name this process. The problem is I haven't actually done any real work yet. But now when I hop over this, the process will be like start, ding. And so at that point, it should hit this because that will run this target with these arguments. And so it should print this log statement and then pause there. Debuggers and multiprocessing can be weird, so it might not happen, but let's find out. Stepping over especially, because it's like stepping over like kind of pauses time. Yeah. Oh, did I change code? Yeah, so it didn't, it like skipped my guy. But I think, actually no, if I run this, yeah. See, it's just weird. So I had to click continue in this. This is now the main process. And this is our new process here. Which, can we see this? I don't know if we can actually. But yeah, it told us the process ID when it was like paused here, and it would have been this. And this is the thing that I was like, oh, I wish we had a name for it. Because this is set up, the color stuff, I need to kind of change it because it just like this is like not really readable. But this tells you where did that, sorry to cough into the mic. Where did this log originate from? What's the process ID and name? And then what's the thread ID and name? So PID, process ID, TID, thread ID. And we now, for the first time, but before this, everything was like main process, main thread, which again, you can't read this blue, but that's fine. I could go fix that, but it's fine. I thought I already did, actually. It's in the color helpers. Ensure not gray, ensure hashed colors, ensure minimum brightness. Remember I said I wasn't going to do that? Right, and so it's going to start this, and then it waits. It does loops, waits a second, and then loops up, and then that's what that ready event was for. Is it's the way for the process to communicate that it has started. Inter-process communication. That's kind of the main vibe in SkellyCam. Because inter-process communication is expensive. Let's put a little debugger here. It's going to start, and then we're not going to really care about this part. We're going to care about this part. No, I guess while it's paused over here, it should be looping over here. But again, debuggers kind of like mess with time, so who knows? Yeah, see, it's not loop. Oh, it is. Yeah, see? Nice. Good job. Um, it is brighter, but it's also now illegible. Does it always start on the same colors? Yeah, who cares? Sorry for people who have poor color perception, I guess, discrimination. Okay, that is annoying though, actually. So I'm gonna. Yeah. You can pause on this. This process will pause before the loop because I don't want to see all that. It's distracting and also confusing, I guess. But it should hit this. Oh shoot! I was in the wrong place. Go in here. Go in here. Oh, right, because we're waiting. Yeah. All right, we moved that responsibility. Thank you. Before it was like the wait for thing to start was happening outside in the start processes, but it's like, no, that's kind of the responsibility of run backend is to make sure that it started, right? Run backend. Step over. Okay. Festapii. Hep. That's us again. Step into. Step over. Make the app. Register the routes is, we should check on that. Step into. Registering routes. This is the route. We're happy there. Include router. I kind of like change these names. Okay, so gotta create controller. I do that twice. Oh, I guess I do need it in this place. So that's a reason to have the singleton pattern get or create. Like you can't have more than one. So every time you ask for it, it either returns the one it made. If it's the first time, it makes it, and each subsequent time it just returns the one that you made before. It's a cute little pattern that I think is like to be avoided, because I think it's kind of global state, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, so, and I have to go into this one manually because the debugger already did this. Like this is an example of like work that was done without code being without in the import phase, all of this was already created. And so this HTTP router is for the HTTP routes in SkellyCam, and they've been stuffed up with the hello path, the detect path, and the connect path. Yeah. And the idea eventually is that each of the sub Skelly repos will have their own sort of HTTP router associated with them. And then when FreeMoCap main switches over to using FastAPI for its backend, it can just sort of pull the routers in from the different little sub repos. And like this will be like SkellyCam HTTP router, and then they kind of compose the main FastAPI sort of whatever routes from that. The WebSocket I think is going to need to be like special, but we only need one of those, and that's just for the frames. And that's actually the part that like currently doesn't work. Okay. Alt F10. Alt F10. Okay. Well, nice try anyway. So you should be happy. Hello. When do you actually get called? Oh, you get called later. You get called when the front end WebSocket client asks to make a connection. Yeah. This is one of those, like, my understanding of this is like, this is the struggle. this WebSocket stuff. We're not there yet, but yeah, this is where the real problems are going to arise. But right now it's not calling it, it's just defining it, preparing it to be called later. Register routes, customize the Swagger UI, make them pretty. That's just mostly just adding this stuff up here. What's that? Just open API JSON. Oh, we're not running. That makes sense. That's fair. That's fair. That's me. Oh, can I change this top guy? Fast API Swagger UI. And now, for the first time of the day, we're gonna launch this into the bot and say, what's up? How do I do this thing? This is where we're in SkellyCam Dev. You know, it's like I almost want to split. I guess it is in the context of SkellyCam, but I'm going to make a whole fast API. No, do I want to? Do less. I am gonna change the name of cameras to SkellyCam. In this channel, we talk about. This is probably. Yeah, it's fine. I'm tired. SkellyCam sub repository. I don't need to say free mocap because it's in this category. God, I don't want to. This is the sub repo of the main free mocap core software that handles cameras and camera connections. I'm tempted to say, then I have these sort of like, yeah, like blah. Because sometimes it like will say things, if I don't have that there, it like, if I ask about cameras, it's like, oh yeah, here's how you do like a simple for loop web. It's like, that's not, we need more than that. Thank you. Okay, so now I can ask about this. Like, I am focus, get your work done. What's the question? Oh, and it's like not even really a SkellyCam thing, it's more of a fast API thing. Which is why I was thinking, yeah, right. Whatever, they just like, who cares? They switch quick. What do I want to do? In fast API, can I make how do I customize the Swagger UI at docs? And I don't need to say less. Always say less. To change the text that shows up in the tab of the browser. Yeah, when viewing the docs page, but it doesn't matter. It'll know. Say less. I mean, I said always say less, but sometimes it's like sometimes say less, sometimes say way more. You just get different answers. Right now, I just kind of want to see what it's gonna say, and it's page title is that's the thing I was actually that's all I needed from that is page title. Get open API. Get open API. Who are you? Who are you? You're imported. Oh. What? Oh, I clicked the wrong guy. Okay, you're a utils. Gotcha. Okay, so custom page title. It wants to say page title. Swagger UI settings. Fast open. Like this could also be wrong. Like this is the kind of thing that it gets wrong. Like it's like, oh shit, sorry, I just completely made up. It's like, hey, it says it doesn't have that. It's like, oh yeah, no, it totally doesn't. Like I just completely made that function up out of nowhere. It's like, oh cool, thanks man. Stupid Discord. If this thing here was adjustable, I would have I would still complain. I complain about everything at all times. And I think we're gonna try page title just to see, even though that's not, just because it's like I actually kind of trust this more than I trust this. Let's see actually. Yeah. Huh? Yeah, see that doesn't exist. But page title might. Oh, that's stupid. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't have it. Okay, what if I go in here? Ah, okay. What are you all? Terms of service, contract, license info, summary, description, title, summary, description, routes, tags, servers, terms of service, contact, license info, also any argument. Doing there. This might be. I don't want to get too rabbit holed here. And then I go over here and I just say, what do I do? Alt F11. I don't think I need to click it. Control C, click here, Control V, punch it. Because it can read text files. As many as you attach, it just dumps them into the prompt. Or no, the message. The prompt is generated hierarchically from the server. I'm going to change this. I guess I'm going to do... I just got tired. Alright, what's your stupid code doing damn thing, stinking all butt stuff? Did you change anything? You're telling me terms of Spotto. Please note. Since FastAPI does not have a direct way to customize the Swagger UI HTML template, which includes a title tag, you can override the docs endpoint and serve a modified. Okay, so this is I think what they're saying is like that it's hard. It's like you're not actually. They don't actually give you a way to do that. At least that's what it's suggesting. They might. It could just be wrong, but. This is like a good example of like like the AI, it's a people pleaser. So it's like you ask it a question, it doesn't have an answer to it. It's just like, this is statistically similar. This is what the right answer would look like if the thing you were asking was a good question. So I'm just going to skip it. It's fine. It would make it easier to pick out. But I guess, I can also just look at that. Customize UI. Boink, boink, boink. Ready event set. That seems a little premature, if we're being perfectly honest. Oh, but I think it hangs here. So I think it has to be there. I think that's the last chance we have to do it. I think that is, okay. I think that's the right time. So I'm going to bounce over it. Once I bounce over this, then there's no longer going to be a debugger paused on this in the back end process. So it should continue and then get here, I think. But this may be also screwy because it's because of all what we've been doing here. Oh wait, no, I was wrong. This .app thing, is that? So you're pouring you're returning this, which is right because that's the thing that's been getting built here. Arguably, this is an argument. Should this be it kind of. One of the arguments for classes instead of functions is like it does give you more control over the lifetime and like when these things are hit. But is it really necessary? Yeah. Okay. Because really this whole class is just to set up this app, and then once it's set up, it just kind of like at the moment of construction, it like pours it like bleh. Like this really is kind of just. It's kind of an interesting way to do it. It's not the worst. Not the worst way to live your life. At least logically equivalent to other options. Oh, because I changed the lines. This is the log API routes. This is like a custom thing I just wrote. Like these are all the routes. And now this is not, I can't go into this. This just happens, I believe. And then this is when it should return. It bounced to a weird place because I changed the lines because I added new lines there. Yeah, so here we are. And now over here we should still be good. And now we should be able to click on this and see the guys. This is the API as a JSON. Oh, nice. It defines. Oh, right. We can define different responses. Won't that be nice? Failed the format, could not parse. Oh, well, we'll chill, dude. Chill out. Try it out. Punch it. Yeah. Great. See? We hit it. It returned. What did it say? It gave us this whole guy. Oh, because it redirects itself? Well, I don't know. Whatever. I don't know what that was. This one though. Hello. I set it up that if you just go to the raw route, it redirects to the docs. That's what's happening here. And then theoretically, if you recall, yesterday video, I was like, I thought that I might have hit a bug because I was running it for the first time while the Who's It was running. So all the cameras were present, but they were all blocked because they were in use. And it did something that made me think like it was returning them even though they were blocked, which makes sense because I was using the Q media device thing as opposed to just doing what I was doing before, which is just like running a for loop of port numbers in OpenCV. With OpenCV, if you ask for a camera on port 1, and there is a camera on port 1, but it's in use meaning that its green light is on because someone's running it. It just doesn't return. It just, nothing's there. So I didn't need, and like, that might have got like, it was just like, oh, that's how that works. But the problem is you get very little information about that, and you're like, da-da-da-da-da. So I've switched over to a more sophisticated method, using this PySide 6 and like Q media device or whatever. So it just like, it gives you available media devices. It happens pretty much instantaneously. As opposed to having like for loop for things, because it just uses there's some like internal registry of like, these are the devices connected to your computer. Because it is doing that, it probably will still tell you that it's there even if it's in use, which like makes total sense and like is arguably what you want, but it is sort of a difference in the logical flow that might need to be dealt with. And I had kind of forgotten about it. I was like, I'll get to that later. But like, this is the beauty of a fast API backend, whatever server, is you can actually just hit that directly and see what happens. So this is a get route, so I don't need any data to run it. I just say, hey, give it to me, as opposed to a post route where you have to tell it, to connect to the cameras, you have to tell it which cameras and what the configs are and stuff like that. So post requires data. Get is just like a, hey, this one I'm posting data to the server. This one I'm just getting data from the server. In the post, you post data and you still get something back. You optionally, I guess. I don't know. Whatever. Fucking. So, here's the question. Here's the experiment. If I click try it out and execute this, I believe it's going to give me 4 cameras, and it's going to be these 4 cameras. Punch it. Tell me. Sure enough. And it gives me the name, which is nice, even though in this case the name is not particularly helpful. Because it's generic. I probably wrote this. I think detect all cameras, return, it can connect to along, detect all available cameras. Yeah. This does not, I wonder if that's bot code. Or bot docs. It could be. I'll bet it is. L'horaire .info. I almost want to say that like, oh, received GET request or whatever there, but technically you can hit that function without using fast API, so I can't confirm that that's the case. That's sweet. Appreciate you. Where am I? Who are you? It's nice that it prints that there. I kind of want to print like a link to the code, but whatever. I won't do that. What was I checking? I was checking if I added that as the name. Control B, look into there. Jamma. Camera device info from Q camera device, camera. Devices, yeah, Q meter devices, video inputs. This is also where I will eventually grab microphone, because like I've wanted microphone. Like recording audio we really need that for a lot of reasons, and it will eventually come from here. Actually, can we do this? Will this work? I think we can. Devices. Who are you? Who are you? Devices. Video. Oh, right. It's like some of these weird sort of like, it's not like a list. Can I do that? Devices? Video inputs, audio inputs. Okay, well, it didn't like that. It's like, this is another like debugger thing, because it's like this is a function, and it's like it's sometimes can be weird, I guess. I don't really understand what's going on here, or why did async IO decide to show up at that point. But I can look at what's inside of it. Devices dot audio inputs connect to destroyed parent property. Oh, you can detect if it changed. Discord. Audio outputs. Oh, okay. Oh, right. Speakers. Duh. Block signals. Child event, children. These are, oh, like, yeah. So this is, I like that they do this. They tell me where this is coming from. So this is generic Q object stuff. Connect, notify. Okay. Audio input, default video input. Okay. I don't really care about all these. Video inputs changed. Init. Dock and module. Sure. What is your dock? Yeah. Not different, I guess. Camera device info. I'll bet in here in the constructor I do make that. I suspect I do. Waha! Look at me go. Look how clever I am. So this is going to so basically I rename it to camera number, which is really port number, I guess, because there's some like this number, if I gave it to OpenCV and said connect to this like integer, whatever the hell it is. I call it port, but I don't know if it is port. It will connect to this camera. So I add that information there. How nice of me. What else do I do in here? I do a bunch of bullshit. Who cares? Available video formats. Actually, there's a fair amount of work happening here too. Because it's, yeah, like this is the other nice thing about using this instead of like the OpenCV loopy method, is this will like tell you like what video formats are available, and like, you know, what resolutions does this camera have, what frame rates does this camera have. Whereas before, you just like in the current version, you just like, you can set any number and send any number, and if the camera doesn't like it, it just won't do it. Sorry, it's like I didn't know how to do that any better. This is why we're here. This is what we're doing, is trying to not be that way. And who is even this? Man, I put some time in here, didn't I? Video format. Where do you come from? Video format, video menu. Oh, it's like one of these backwards for loops. In available video formats, camera.video format. Yeah, and it comes in some weird thing, so I have to convert, just like slurp it out. Somewhere in this sort of call tree. Hour and 20. It's like, yeah, that's about my. I get tired. Like I start losing momentum at about an hour. I have not actually done any work though, although I don't mind what I've done. Because it has been a second since I've looked through this code, and it's nice to remind myself. But I like if I no, it's like it's whatever. Hello. Let's restart. Okay, where even were we? And I do think I want to get started on the video bot AI, audio transcribe, scrape, whatever stuff. I'll do that, I think, later this afternoon. After Scrum. Is there anything else I should be doing for Scrum? I don't know. Does no process is alive. None type has no process is alive. Oh, what? That's crazy. Oh, because something died. Yeah, okay, that's fair. Something, yeah, because we were paused in the back end, so it never got to the front end. So when it tried to clean up the front end, it was like, that doesn't exist. But yeah. That's fine. Where even are we? Do we have anybody here? Yeah, okay, so you're running over there. And it'll just pass right over this because it's already paused, so it's already started. Go in here, go in here, go in here, go in here. You should be happy about that. Good job. Pounce out here. Good job. Did I? So like if you edit the code while it's running, it remembered the old line numbers. So like I don't remember changing anything in this run. So when in doubt, restart. Restarting is without cost. Oh, cool. So these numbers here, like 0x and then a big hash number, that's memory addresses. And so I guess that's when you make a multi-processing event, you are identifying it at you're giving access to different processes can check the same place in memory to see if the event has been set or not. And because we got here, this one's already set. Event at this memory location is set. It's interesting. It's just kind of, so I guess you're telling, somehow Python is telling the system, Python, whatever, like, hey, these are two processes and they both have access to this thing, and presumably it also has like the appropriate like semaphores and blocks set up so that you can try to read it at the same time. That's okay, but you can't try to write to it at the same time. So it probably has, presumably that's what's happening here. It's like does the locks and whatnot. Okay, starting front end process. So this does work. I believe it fails when I click start session. So I don't want to go all the way in here, but somehow here we are. just, I guess I'm bookkeeping right now. Close all tabs in. Oof. Nope, not you. Are you? Oh, run front end, run Qt application. Oh, it should be a different file, friendo. Alt F11, you're over here, run front end. Yeah, you should be up here. For sure, you should be up here. For sure. So I do that, I hit F6, and it says, where should I be? And I say, it's to you, my dear. Front end application / run Qt application. I kind of want to change the name of that folder to Qt application, but no, but I'm just going to do it. Shift F6, throwing Qt _ punch it. And then like this might cause it so like, you have issues or something. Like sometimes that, well, actually I think in my mind it's like sometimes the refactor doesn't change everything. I think in reality sometimes I tell it to refactor and I don't notice it asks me to confirm, and then it doesn't change anything, which, you know, very different statements there. Starting front end process. You don't need to be talking about that, I think. No, I do though. Because I kind of want to know, because this is relevant, because it's like, so what if somehow... See, now that's starting to feel like less than good. I have said it too many times, it's fine. Start is alive. What am I doing? I'm over here. I just moved that guy over there. I'm just doing this refactoring, I guess. And now that I have a folder with multiple things in it, I'm also going to take this singleton out because it got bigger recently, because I added some extra logic to it. Qt application, create or recreate. That's different from getter, create, getter. Do I want it to be like that? I think I do. Well, I'm going to leave it like that for now. I don't know if I need it like that. This is also the high potential for, yeah, so this is a bug that it does do, is it grabs the logger and then it claims it has, like, it yells because it has a circular import at that point. This might want to be getter create. I can't remember. I think I added it like this, thinking it would be useful for like reboot behavior, which I currently don't have implemented. So that feels like already thinking about reboot feels like pre-optimization, which is bad. But like I'm pretty sure it's going to happen, and I'm pretty sure whatever I wind up doing with the reboot behavior is going to have to be kind of defined at this level to work properly. But it's sort of like right now it works for these purposes. It might not be ideal, but I don't think I do anything that bumps into it yet. And if I do, I'll probably be able to figure it out. I am going to do one of these though. When? Sure, whatever, who cares? It's like grammatically, it's not ideal. But also, who cares? It's like, oh, but I do need to make that an F string. Otherwise, for this to work. Where are we at? Are we running? We are running. But where? Okay. We were in the Qt application, in the run Qt application, and I was refactoring because I didn't like where it lived. Do I have other breakpoints? I can't remember. I need to make this so this doesn't get red. Doesn't be red. Step into. Whoa. Step out of. That is a problem with the logger, the fancy logger, is like when I step into it, sometimes if I'm doing the debugger, it's like, oh, that's your code. I'm going to step into it. It's like, that's debugger. I don't want to see that. Or logger. I don't want to see that. Step into, F7, F7, F7. Hello. Same vibe over here. SkellyCam Qt application. Why would I name it that? Also, why would this be here? And it should very clearly be here. SkellyCam Qt application. How did it think that? Oh, because it was defined as a global? We didn't have to import it anyway? Did I delete it? What do you even... Is it... Does... Like, so what's your... Like, I know you're a little sad, but can you tell me why? Come on. Context actions. Inspection. Global variable is not defined at the module level, has no quick fixes. Yeah, okay. But why is that not just like a straight up error? Because globals are dumb, I think is the answer. Like, don't use them, they're bad. Okay, so we're here and we have to put the breakpoint. I guess we're going to put it here. We do have it there. Continue. Okay. Yeah, see, add some reboot behavior. I'm just going to go with the static analysis vibes here. Guess not. I'm just going to go through. So that's an internal function which you're not using yet. Okay. I guess I don't know what's going on. What? This is one of those it sometimes just skips stuff in the debugger when there's multiprocessing involved, and especially sometimes when it's like the first line, which I don't know what that's about. Again, maybe it's because it's a global call and those apparently are weird in some way. But anyways, we're here where we're supposed to be. Main loop's running happily. Good job. Might want to turn this off because I don't know what it is. It's async IO. It's annoying to me. Okay, so hop over. You should hop over that. You should hop over that. Okay. Hop over that. Hop over that. Step into that. Step. And now it's going to create the application. It's a queue application. Initialize that. Got the name, got the port, got the timeout. It's 30. Got the reboot event, which isn't used. Got the shutdown event, which is presumably. Create the backend clients. These are the guys that talk to the backend. It's a little bit confusing. Logger. Like putting logs in the initialization is always a bit like, should I do that? But it's like, why not? You know, it's not hurting anyone. It should only get hit once. So I don't need these anymore. Sure, that's absolutely unnecessary, but why not? This I definitely want to be logging this stuff. See, look, HTTP, this is hard coded. I don't love that, but it's fine. Honestly, I should probably just be defining these as like global constants. No, because it's multiprocessing. Log everything, please. Do I use this? Control B? Check, sure, why not? Oh, see, wait, yeah. This is where I say sending the API request and say that specific, because this is the API client, so it's never going to be hitting that. Like, this is always going to be an API request, whereas the other place may not, because technically you could hit that as a regular function. Shouldn't, but you could. Success, detected cameras. Return that. If it fails, it'll validate. It'll do a validation failure. Connect to cameras. Same thing. Get there, get there. I kind of want to print. You know, honestly, it's going to be verbose, but I kind of like verbose. So it's going to be a JSON. I could prettify that. I could pretty print it. I don't want to pretty print it. I just don't want to set that up. And this is just this is a check. Really, this should be a test. This should be like test, but I'll do that later. It's got prints and everything. Oh, you have a pretty print. Oh, is it simple as that? I don't want to do it. So basically, every time I get to a new like point, I'm like, okay, I know that it's good up until this point. I know that because I started with the breakpoint at line 1, and I'm just kind of like incrementing through. And once I get past a certain area, I'm like, oh, this part's fine. So I clear the breakpoints, and wherever I am, like when I sort of like lost the thread, or things got weird, or I got confused, or I forgot what it was, I'll just clear the breakpoints. In that case, I forgot, so I just had to do it when I hit them, and then just restart it, and then like now we're back where we were. And we're checking out the backend clients. And we're checking out this one, which we have checked. Some more weird logger stuff. Step out of. Oh, because I did the step into when it's on the logger, the thing I knew. Step in there, step in there. I'm going to put one just here just in case I forget. Step into creating the who's it. That's your URL. Do I really want to be showing that it's an attribute? Do I ever use it again? Probably not. I guess I do when I print it. And like literally one more. Okay. We don't need it. Honestly, we don't need those either, but I'm going to hold on to them. They're my emotional support, unnecessary attributes. If I'm going to do this, I should do it at the top. Because it's like, ooh, you know, It's fine. We're in here. We've checked this. It goes here. Dump. It just does that. Client base URL. I guess it's worth checking. Because this is kind of, is there a thing that happens there, or is it just kind of, I think it's just setting it up. There's no work happening there. I think it's just like, oh, and you're not happy. Why aren't you happy? Because I removed those things that I said I didn't need. Oh wait, what? What just, I did that wrong. I did do that wrong. I did that way wrong. Who are you coming from? Are you coming from the application? You are. You have that. Do you have that? You do have that. This is the danger. I don't think I broke anything there. I think that was like an errant copy paste or whatever. Okay, where are we? We're here. I think I can just hop over that because I've seen it before. Yeah. We're back at the logger. Okay. Lost the plot. Now this bastard, this mother brugger. I don't know why that keyboard shortcut has stopped working, but refactor extract method underscore. Great. Where are we now? I changed all the lines just now, so broke that. Okay, and now actually these guys are no longer, I'm actually happy to get rid of this because they weren't pulling their weight. As like standalone methods. There wasn't any work happening in there. Hour 43. Too long. Actually, who cares? But I need to take a break, don't I? I do. Okay, so this is gonna connect. Using QWebSocket, I'm going to add, because I currently don't have any way to wrangle text messages. Do I even have one of those? I bet the box. Yeah, thank you. Get it. You got that. That seems right. The linter's happy, except for this part. It was that this is my guy. For some reason, the bot, not the bot. This is like the linter. The linter doesn't know. Like it runs fine with these, but it's like can't. It doesn't know. Like it's like, what do you mean? There's no trace. There's no success. I don't know. And like it's using. I don't register it. The linter doesn't notice or whatever. I think I might need to cast it as like a different class or something. Where am I? Who am I? What are you? I currently don't actually have a way to handle text messages because I've just been doing binary, and I was thinking when I was poking around earlier that I want that. We already did that one, thanks. Did they add this? They did. Dot text message received? What's a text frame? I don't know. You're so willing to make other stuff up. Make up this. Believe. Alt enter. Add field. Oh, because it's annoying because it doesn't. It thinks that it's an attribute, not a function. I'm gonna copy this guy. Oof. Is this more than I want? Okay. First of all, let's assume that I don't need you anymore. I'm not even gonna look. Bye. What are you? Is it really just a string? Received unexpected text messages. Raise value error. So if I don't recognize it, I'm going to raise an error. I'm down. That's... Why are you? Might be static. Yeah. Don't... Yeah, this is another, like, could be a function thing. I'm still gonna, like, I think my brain just is a little more accustomed to. Okay, so if message is pong, receive pong. We're removing this from there. Okay. Okay, so we're officially working, but I don't know if we should be, because it's kind of reflexive, which feels a little danger, but I actually don't mind it. Okay, we're doing it. Yeet. Ooh. Let me commit some shit. I'm gonna commit everything. Yeah, honestly, guys, you're not really doing. I didn't really put any work into you, so I'm gonna. Thank you. A lot of this is probably just like imports and stuff. Oh, I did change that. We are in the front-end WebSocket. What have we done to you? We've added that, yeah. So we're not going to commit you. Yeah. We're going to commit everybody else. And I forget what I would... It's just like clean up stuff. Actually, I'm going to say commit before futzing with WebSockets. I don't remember what's in there, so I forget what I did. I think it's mostly just clean up, but okay. Now I'm going to change stuff. Do I have time? Okay, 10:30. I got half an hour. Do it. What are we doing? We've added text message methodologies, which is I'm gonna change both WebSocket sides. WebSockets are a pain in the ass. Celebrate your victories. And I'm going to stop using this built-in ping method because I don't understand it. And I'm just going to handle it manually. So WebSocket, and I don't need to be setting the binary of it. That wasn't really doing anybody any favors. Because WebSockets, I guess, have two routes, send ping. That's great. Come on, show some enthusiasm. Request frames, we'll get to you later. This is also going to be request send Send, Send frames, please. Because I think it's kind of funny to do that. And I can do this. Let's see if this works. Control-Alt-C does work. Frames request string. Punch it. Request frames. We're not even going to get to that point yet. On binary message received, we will handle that. We should only be receiving one received binary message with length. Yeah. So we should the only binary messages we should receive. Am I deploying stuff on me right now? There's a. I don't know. Yeah. Okay. Eventually, that is going to want to be traced because that's going to be like the images, and then theoretically, that should be bytes, and this should be bytes. Binary message. I'm gonna sure. Binary message, because why not? It's like anytime you add, I used to be like longer variable names the better, and I still think that's a viable strategy when you're like figuring something out. But now I'm starting to understand that like every time you add visual complexity, you're adding cognitive friction. So like words have to pull their weight. I think I'm going to say that one does, mainly because here is an exact. I don't want to. I want like these are right next to each other. On text message received, if text message is Pong, return. It just says received Pong. I want to send one back, right? Right? How do I do that? Send. Oh, I'm emitting. I'm on the front end. Wait. Oh yeah, I don't send one back, because then that would be infinite bouncies, because we're on the front end right now. Right, we just did that, which is going to need to be imported into the back end, which is like, it's like it will cause a tendril connection between the front end and back end, like code like files, which shouldn't matter like from like a, you know, like in the guts of the thing. It's like it feels like a little bit of a violation of like the style of what's going on here, but I actually kind of like it because it does. It's like, yeah, there is a connection between these things. Like I'm going to send a string and you need to recognize it, and I, the dev person, I don't want to remember what that string is. And if I ever change it, I definitely don't want to have to change it in two places. So I'm going to make this as a constant that's going to be imported. And I could put it in a place that's like outside of both of them. But, you know, I don't think it's not going to cause any errors. If it causes errors, there will be circular imports and it'll be obvious right away. All right, we're fixing the pongy pingy stuff. Okay, so here we are back here. Continue. This is a bunch of create the keep alive. Receive and process messages. Receive and process messages. So we don't have the on receive bytes. It's only doing the one. Who are you? What have you got in your guts? Receive. Receive. You have a straight up receive. And you are going to return a coroutine of any mutable mapping. Great. That's super helpful. Oh, it's going to return a message who we know. Okay, so let's see what you got. Right click. Fjold. Collapse all. Cool. Okay, so this is an exception. This is a... Okay, so we've got send, receive, accept. It's probably accept connection. Receive text, receive bytes, receive JSON. Iter bytes, iter text, send bytes, send JSON. I don't think I have reason to send any JSONs right now. But these are both awaits. Do I need to run 2 loops now? I don't like that. I can make 3 code routines in here. Alt F1 1. Okay. What's my goal? Honestly, I think I do know how to make that happen quickly. And because I was like, oh, I can make the bot do it, and then but then there's always like a cost there. I think I can follow this keep alive pattern, which does seem to work. And the bot did do that, and it's like, ugh, what is it? It's like gather. It's gather, right? Right. It is gather. So there's a keep alive task. There's the receive binary messages task, which is going to be that. Async IO dot create task dot. I'll put these in a method later. Self, we're going to rename that to receive binary. Oh, we don't receive binary. Backend doesn't, like, frontend should never be sending binary messages. And frontend does not send binary messages. So if we ever need to worry about that, so boom, much easier. Receive and process text messages. No need DL. Receive and process text messages. Receive and process messages. Current message. Then we log how long it's been because we have like a timeout built in. And then we just bonk it back. Wait, that's broken logic right there. I think received. There's no actual router. It sends it and then it sends the latest frames. If it was that. Okay, well, that's not great. So it's only receiving text messages. So received WebSocket send bytes. Okay, so not any of this. Received message. Thank you. Control-Alt-M. Why doesn't it work? Refactor. Oh, because we're in the debugger. I knew that. Extract method. I consider that a bug on their part. I don't know. Log message received time. It's not really logging, but it's fine. Oh, but I do need don't get used. Oh, time since last message. Previous message time. like any of this. Previous message time. This is the time the last message was received. I don't want to do it. I want to do it at the start. I do want to do it like that. Okay, but I'm going to need to make a stinking self dot that is that. It's going to be like, oh, I've never heard of this guy before. And it's like, I know. It's not an error, but it doesn't like it. And it's just because it wants to be that. And I'm going to move you down here. That's Control Shift down. Yeah, Control Shift down. Receive and process text messages. Do that. Don't need that. Thank you. Make sure that logic isn't busted. Current time is the current time. Time since the last message is the current time, which is the bigger number, minus the previous time, which is a smaller number, so it would be a positive value, which is the delta since the last message, delta t since the last message. Update the previous time message with the current time message, because the next time we get here, that's what it will be. And this will then, keep alive handler, time since last message. Time since last message is the thing that will trigger this if it's, that doesn't work, does it? Time since last message should increment upwards. You need to calculate that in here. That's another broken logic. Previous. Wild. Time, man, I'm telling you. Current message time. Current self dot message, last message received. Last message, shouldn't be called it last. Message received. Received. Wow. Jesus. This perf counter, we don't need that. Because you're going to calculate that. This no longer needs to be in a different method. Christ all space and mighty. Last is receive time. It's going to be that. It's going to be that. CV. V. Most recent message timestamp. Don't come at me for that, okay? So it starts there, in there. And so now here in the keep alive, I'm still gonna run out of time, man. How long have we been on? 2 hours? Jesus, fuck. Okay, close this loop and then go look at a tree or something. I just may not be able to get to it. That's annoying. Okay. Keep alive. Time since last message. A lot of these don't even exist anymore. Okay. If shutdown is events, then should continue is false and close and then break. If while should continue, if it's there, then we can say, aha, time since, okay, most recent message timestamp. Yes. There we go. So at this time, I, the keep alive timer, am going to see how long it's been since the last message by looking at the current clock perf counter is the fastest running clock, most up to date, versus the time that you, this other guy, logged that that you've received a message. Do I actually do that in here? Okay. And the keep alive timer, I think needs to happen after that, because otherwise it'll try to like compare to a none. Actually, did you want to do that? Yeah, it's fine. It could do it elsewhere, so it's fine. Okay. Okay, come on. Can we close this fucking loop? This is text. This is text. Inline type hints, just to be fancy about it. Received message. If the message is, oh, I think I can actually do this quickly. If it's, this is kind of breaking that rule of like, I don't want to remember what it is. Logger, trace, receive, ping from client, send text, pong. But it's like cute. Like we know that, right? We know that it's ping. Is it that? I'm going to call that info. I think it's info. Oh, nice. Christ almighty. I'm just going to run you. I don't even want to look at debugger nonsense anymore. Just hit it. Hit it, hit it, hit it, hit it, hit it, hit it. Shh. This is other people using SkellyBot. Like people in servers that I'm a part of that I need to change the message. Friends of mine. I kind of want to get those notifications. Okay, so set folder is root. So all this stuff happens. There's still this red stuff. I thought that would go away. I guess maybe it just does the ping pong on its own. Ping pong. No, I told it to do that. Okay, why not? 5 bytes. I think there's actually a way to make it print the turnaround time, but I don't really know how to control this. Oh, you're sad. Unexpected text messages. Pong. Oh, because I'm stupid. Got these keep alives. Yeah, look at that. Okay. We're into it. We seem to be happy. Front end WebSocket on text message received. Why don't you get here? Oh, yeah, see? See? This is the thing. But we have to, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. And that's the only message that you should ever get, I think. Okay. Okay, look at that. So I'm actually I'm happy with this. It looks like we do now have the WebSocket like hanging out, chatting along, chugging along, great. And I think it's like every 15 seconds it should send 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000, 5, 1,000, 6, 1,000, 7, 1,000, 8, 1,000, 9, 1,000, 10, 1,000, 11, 1,000, 12, 1,000, 31,000, 41,000, 51,000, yeah, 61,000, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 30. It's on 30. Why is it on 30? Oh, because I believe that the keep alive is on, it's on a timer. Max time is, I think it's 60 actually. I can't remember, but I think I have it set up that it's like the keep alive should send a signal at half the duration of the timeout. This will probably fail. Maybe not actually. Yeah, because I don't have anything to receive. I don't like not. There's nothing to catch that. But it's sending it a lot, a lot. And I don't catch it. Which is fine. But there was a red up here, like a sad red. Who are you? This is the thing. Oh, and we established that it doesn't realize that the cameras are blocked because of that thing. So I'll have to check, which is actually probably the reason why it wasn't working before. Amazing. So if you've been watching this whole time, you might be like, "Oh man, you're so close. Keep going." I mean, I have things to do, but also it's sometimes nice to leave a project with a dangling, like, I think I know how to make progress now. So but I'm tired. So this is actually where I stop. So that when I come back, I have immediate and obvious work to do that will sort of hopefully bring some joy. So this is the ratchet has now clicked, and now I'm going to put it away because the WebSocket has connected. It doesn't work, but we know kind of why. Yes, it fails and create CV2 capture. We also don't catch the request properly. So the backend is trying to log the frames, but the WebSocket, even if it was doing that, the WebSocket wouldn't be able to send frames back because it's not receiving the request in any way, shape, or form. Great. So we're going to put this on the commit. We're going to say WebSocket socket connection works. Don't seems to. Not working because Q media device doesn't notice if cameras are blocked, which is interesting because I never would have noticed that if I wasn't streaming. If I wasn't streaming with 4 cameras while I was doing that, I never would have seen that. I guess with it could have just been one, and I would have been it would have still hit that error, but it would have been harder to note, I think. Blocked. Need check. Need add check. This is bad practice for commits, but check this out. I don't care. Haha. Socket convention. Also, backend WebSocket web socket doesn't handle, I think is the term, handle frame request at all. Commit to push. Karatubash. Commit to push. Push. How are we doing? Did I say commit? Did I say commit, not push? Let's be cool, hacker guy. Get status. Oh. Get push. Get pull. Jesus. Okay.